come on, let's go live. Okay, welcome back everybody to the Edited Nation channel. Back for Tales from the Nation number 2.
Yes, yes.
Two people watching, wow. But yeah, it's the Legend of the Smoke Creature. So, yeah, basically it goes way, way back, so I guess this can be started in the 5th grade, so I was debating like maybe I should just give the kid a fake name, like just protect him identity, but realistically nobody's ever gonna watch this, so who cares? So the kid's name was Ian, and he had this long greasy blonde hair, and it was funny because in the 5th grade half the kids thought he was a girl, so that was something else. It was like, yeah, even I wasn't sure at first. I was like, wait, is it? Maybe it is. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And,
Ian was definitely a character.
yeah, so...
He rode my bus for a while, which was kind of funny.
First of all, my first impression of the guy I didn't like, because right off the bat he stole a Sharpie from me, so one of those fine tip Sharpies, and he's like, oh, that kid stole it. Yeah.
Not even like a mechanical pencil for the lead, because you need it, and everyone had a fucking mechanical pencil. Just fucking a Sharpie. Because you can use that on every fucking piece of paper you get for an assignment.
Yeah, so, I mean, really, you're probably wondering about, like, the smoke creature part here, and that was, well, how do we put this? This is the big, okay, well, I'm gonna backtrack real quick. The kid was one of the nerds. Okay, nerds, I'm sure every school has nerds, and it was
like
a big,
one of the ultra nerds, though.
yeah.
Like, we don't normally care, but, like, this is...
All they talked about was like video games, and like Legend of Zelda and Skyrim was brought up all the time. So yeah, I mean, he was a nerd with all the other ones, and that already was like, yeah, that's a red flag. Okay, but this is where we're getting to the big thing relates to smoke. He reeked. I don't even know if he smelled. He reeked.
Like cigarettes.
Yeah, of cigarettes. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. It was bad. And to a point, I felt bad, but the guy was kind of weird guy. So like, he reeked, and nobody would ever say anything. Like, but. And yeah, like, this conscience coming in, you feel bad, but then it's like, for how long is he gonna, like, he smelled like that into, like, deep into middle school, it's like, that's, when do you tell the guy he smells bad? But every time he walked by, everybody's like,
everyone would say that, like, dude, that guy stinks.
That guy smells.
Like, actual cigarettes. He reeked like cigarettes. And I'm not going to be able to contribute much to the whole storytelling thing, but I can say he reeked like fucking cigarettes. And it was bad. Like, I typically don't care, but, like, he lives in a household where he has running water and, like, a shower. Like, we knew that. Because I remember one day a popular kid asked him if he ever takes a shower. He said yes.
Yeah, okay.
I just don't know why.
Yeah, I don't.
I get the parents smoking the house, but like it reeked like he fucking like just ripped up the tobacco and lit it on fire on his body.
Yeah, it's so
bad.
Yeah, right now. He smelled. He always wore like ratty clothes, and I'm not putting him down for that. It's just like it just contributes more to the character, so you have an idea.
Oh yeah.
He smelled. liked, like, he would always talk about Skyrim. I didn't even know what Skyrim was, and he was like talking about it. I'm like, oh,
I
okay.
hardly know what it is.
Yeah, and you know, I'll just put it lightly, he was a weird guy. You're gonna find that in common in a lot of these stories. A lot of these guys are really weird guys.
They're fucking weirdos, dude. Don't, like, these are guys you don't want to go around, because they're just, you don't know. Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
and so
They're
I think,
weirdos.
yeah, here's an important backtrack from the accounts of our friend Vince. So this is like
This
fourth
is really,
grade. Yeah,
yeah. This
fourth
is
grade.
really fun.
Yeah, our friend Vince goes over to Ian's house because he's trying to make friends, and it's whatever. It's fourth grade, so he goes over to his house, and of course, again, it stinks bad. But that wasn't even the worst of it. Apparently, the whole time, Ian just played Minecraft, which was in the background right now, on his 360 the entire time. And Vince was just sitting there. But this isn't even the worst of it. The whole house was messy. The dishes, none were done. It's like it was just stacking up for like months, he said. He said there was empty Mountain Dew bottles around the whole house. So it's like at the end of the day, I have to wonder what's going on at this household.
Oh yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah, so, and then I think the funny part then is, as soon as Vince got home, his mom was like, Vince, you need to go take a shower, because
I remember that.
Vince smelled like cigarettes afterwards. And I don't know what the deal is. I know his dad was like an artist, and I remember him coming and doing art in the classroom once, which was just cool and everything. But I also remember just by chance, just seeing it in like people you may know. His dad he got a Boba Fett tattoo, big one on his back. I
That
don't,
doesn't help the story at all. That makes it worse
yeah,
for anyone else cared for
it's,
what we think of that.
at best, it's a little weird. I think we can all admit that. But yeah, I don't. If Ian ever finds his way to this video, which I doubt, we never hated you, but it's just, in retrospect, you gotta understand what other people were thinking, okay? This guy, everybody, just like, this guy reeks. I remember the first time I brought it up to Vince in the 5th grade, I felt bad. I'm like, I really genuinely feel bad even bringing this up.
We all did though for like at first, and then we figured out that he has the ability to not smell like that as bad, and then it wouldn't get to that point where we felt as bad anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah, we get to that. And, yeah, it's just, I mean, again, he didn't smell good, okay? I ain't gonna sugarcoat it, Ian. You really didn't have an excuse for smelling like that, especially when it got into middle school, okay? That's when people start realizing things about smells more and whatnot, alright? I don't think that was acceptable. It really wasn't acceptable in elementary school, but
No.
it,
I'm surprised his parents just like did that and let him go to school smelling like that, which I think is just awful.
yeah, and well, I mean that brings it back. Like I don't want to disrespect people's parenting, but I just hearing the story about like the empty Mountain Dew bottles and stuff, it just gets me wondering like what was going on there. So, yeah, he, you know, the last thing I seen of Ian was like, I saw a post on his Instagram. I'm not even following him, but I just happened to see, and it was him and another character. Well, we're not even gonna get into that guy. Another socialist character, but yeah, they were playing. I think it was Dungeons and Dragons, so card game. So, hey, or maybe it was Magic the Gathering. I don't know.
Oh, stupid.
Something like that. So I mean, that's where he is now. And I feel like there's another thing that like is bad that we did. It really was bad. I don't even know who made it. I don't know if it was me or Vince or who made it, but one of us made an image of Ian. Well, it really wasn't even much of anything. It was just a Febreze bottle next to him. Like, maybe that should be, you know, sprayed around. And I think one of us shared it to Corbin, which is another character. And then, of course, he sends it to Ian, and then Ian just hates us now. I don't, and this was years ago. I don't know. Again, I really don't know what happened to that guy. No idea. But I mean, at the end of the day, Ian, we're sorry about that. But it's just, it just is a reflection of what everyone was thinking at the time. So, was it right? No. But was it ever? It was just meant to be an inside joke, and it really wasn't even that bad. It was just literally just a Febreze bottle, but it, you know, it is what it is. It was, I don't know why Corbin had to share that with him. And the funny thing is, because it was like a while later, and Corbin just like, I sent that to him. I was like, but why? It wasn't supposed to be sent with him. Obviously, we're not going to send it to him because that wouldn't be right. It was just literally what it was an inside joke, and it wasn't even, it really was not that bad, all things considered. With some of the stuff I've seen, it was not that bad.
No, we've seen some pretty fucked up shit.
So at the end of the day, Ian, we're sorry for that, but it's what everybody was thinking, and he was really butthurt after that. He blocked us. He's like, "You guys should just kill yourselves." I was like, I guess, but
you probably shouldn't just let yourself smell like that on another note.
yeah. And so after that, I don't know what happened to him. I really have no idea. I feel like Vince said he saw him out in public once. I feel like I remember him saying that, but I just don't know. So, I don't know. I guess the moral of the story here is just don't be going around when you stink. There's no way you don't have any kind of realization after so long, so many years. It's like, that's why you don't have an excuse. And that's one that picture was made. It was literally just a picture of Febreze next to him, and it's like, if that was me, I get not everybody has the same humor, but if that was me, even if I was like, I smelled like that, I would laugh at that. I really would. Like, you gotta learn to joke about yourself once in a while. I think a lot of people have that problem, is that they just, everything's automatically offensive. That never was the original intention of the picture. We weren't going to share it with him because we knew he'd get offended. That was just Ian. He got easily offended. I remember, like, he was in a discussion with, like, Vince once about, like, which Elder Scrolls game was better, and he was, like, getting all offended, so this ain't an isolated incident. It's like he would easily get offended for no real reason, but Yeah, I guess the moral of the story is just be aware of how you smell, basically. Especially in school. Okay, that's a big thing. Obviously, we all have those days where it's, you know, most likely just gonna be BO from whatever. Maybe gym, maybe you're out of deodorant, and it's like whatever. But when it's for years is when it turns into a problem, I think. So, yeah, I mean, I just, I don't know. And, you know, it was funny,
What the
cause
fuck? Just randomly barked.
see, that's dog's contribution, but
Probably
yeah,
have to keep up instincts too.
you know, I really, I think, like, I can really realistically give elementary school a pass, not by much, not by much, but just because, but once, you know, middle school is like, at the time, times are changing, you know, it's like, you gotta start
Oh
taking
yeah.
care of yourself better, and geez, I think it was funny because, like, I remember in middle school, like, I don't even know who it was, but somebody was complaining about BO near the lockers, like, and it was funny because, like, this girl would always complain, and it was like half the kids were coming back from gym and they were just gonna leave. It's like I don't see a problem with that. On that part, I think it's just stupid girl, you know, whatever. But it's well, just all the time. You know, and I think this ain't like I'll just say right now, this ain't isolated to Ian. Okay, there's other Big B's stories we'll get into later on, but
I kind of forgot about that guy.
yeah, it's and that was those other stories are cases of BO, but there's moral of the story: be aware that you might stink. I don't get offended. You know, I really do understand about the picture with the Febreze bottle. That is, I really do to this day feel bad about that. It really is borderline bullying, but it was never going to be sent to him. It was an inside joke that Corbin just had to send for no reason. And I think just to give perspective from outside, it probably just sounds like bullying, but as our friend group, we have we have edits with everybody's heads just slapped on stuff for like no reason. Not really anymore, but like back in the day, I don't really even know why, but random edits with our heads on it, and they were supposed to be funny. I mean, geez, Brett, you got most of the brunt of that.
Fuck, I got more of them than anyone else. It was pretty bad.
It was like there was one that I just remember was sent over and over again by Vince, and it was you, like, like a picture of you photoshopped in D-Day, and then it had the caption of, COD World War II's actually pretty good, soldier. And
Just because it's just that like the game.
that was, so, you know, we kind of play like that. Nobody really even gets too offended. I mean, that's an entirely different story. That I think the problem with that was like, and that's not a story for another day, but they got to the point where the memes, as I'll call them, were just spammed the Brett's phone. That's a story for another day, but
Oh
It was no good. But realistically, Ian, sorry about that. It could have been way worse. So just beware. Anybody watching this, be aware of how you smell. Like, honestly. I always tried to make sure I smelled fine at school. I'm sure you did the same, right? Just because it's...
You don't stink at school. You don't do that.
Yeah.
If you do that, your bullying is deserved.
Yeah. So, that's all for this story, but... Yeah. He really is a character. I'm wondering what he's doing now. I think... Oh no, I gotta add one more thing. I actually do think, like I saw recommended on Facebook, I think he has... So he had long, greasy blonde hair, but now he never washed his hair, clearly. But now he has black hair and face rings and nose rings and stuff. So yeah, I guess it tells us what kind of character he turned into. But
Oh yeah, well, he's gross.
I guess he's still gross in one way or another. But I guess we'll end this episode here. So catch you guys in the next one.